Edition of Tigers Roar from Scoreboards on Coursey Boulevard. I'm Tommy Krysan with Jordy Holberg. Good evening, sir.
That's what happens when you win a game on the road against an 18th ranked Ole Miss Rebel team and you beat them by 14. You're doing the chopper dance or whatever inside the LSU basketball locker room. Big win for Will Wade and the LSU Tigers. Undefeated in SEC play.
A 3-0 in league play.
A quadrant one win. That's going to help them when it comes time for NCAA tournament selection, so that was a big win.
And they snapped a 10-game win streak.
Yeah.
Coach at Ole Miss, Kermit Davis, spent 6 years on John Brady's staff early in the Brady tenure in Baton Rouge as coaching for the Tigers. And they were ranked 18th. They got that brand new facility. You didn't get to play in that one.
I've never been to the Pavilion, no.
Jordy, is this a signature win because it's a conference game on the road against a ranked team?
Early in the season, it is a team that, like you said, was riding a 10-game winning streak, a team that had beaten Auburn, nationally ranked earlier in the week, had gone on the road and overcome an 11-point deficit to beat another nationally ranked team in Mississippi State. The Pavilion was packed, even though Ole Miss, not in school, but the students were there. The place was packed. They started off slowly, but defense kept them in the game in the first half until the offense started to generate. And a 52, it's 31-31 at the half. LSU explodes out for 52 points in the second half, and they got it from a combination of people. But I'm telling you, as Tremont Waters goes, so goes the LSU basketball team. He is prolific. I tweeted out Pistol Pete, Ethan Martin, Derek Taylor, at that time Chris Jackson, and now Trey Waters. 5 pretty darn good point guards in LSU basketball history.
That's an impressive list, sir. Well, I mean, look, you're
all different in what they did, but all so valuable to their team.
You're well versed in all sports, but you got that eye for basketball, played it, coached it, been doing it all your life.
Yeah.
And when you make a comment like that, I put a lot of weight behind that.
He's really good. If he plays the rest of the way like he played against Ole Miss, 20 points on 6 of 11 shooting, so very productive, 9 assists, 3 steals, distributing the basketball, not turning it over. They're a dangerous ball club because they've got athletes, they've got length, they've got height, they've got a little bit of everything. They're a good team.
Last week when we were on Tigers Roar, they were coming off the home win against Alabama. You made the point. It's another animal on the road.
Yeah.
They needed overtime last Saturday to beat Arkansas. It was not that good, but Arkansas shook back in at the end, forced overtime game, anything had happened. But when you get to the road with Ole Miss, 10-game win streak, ranked, boom.
And the fact they led by as many as 12 in the past games against Florida State, against Furman, and let teams back in the game and made it close. It was a 12-point difference. Ole Miss only cut it to 6. LSU was in control. They just a great win, and that's a galvanizing type of win. You saw the locker room after the game. Those road wins are far more special than the home wins because it's so much tougher, and you can see how the attention to detail, the game plan that's put in, changing defenses, getting the ball to the right people offensively, attacking the glass, all those things add up, and that was why you saw Will Wade celebrating after the ball game. Just a signature win. Now, 2 home games starting with Saturday, South Carolina, 5 o'clock in the Pete Maravich Assembly Center. You win that one, you get a chance to come back and play at home again. You can start off 5-0 in league play, and now everybody's going, look out for the Tigers. My bracketologist on my radio show, Shelby Mass, Bracket WAG for USA Today, has LSU currently on the 7 line as a 7 seed. They beat South Carolina, another undefeated team. They're playing at Vanderbilt tonight. If South Carolina is able to win that one, they're 4-0. Now you got a 4-0 taking on a 3-0 on Saturday. LSU wins that one. Boy, their NET is going up and up and up. So it's a lot of basketball to be played, but so far so good.
Let's elaborate for a minute on the NET. The RPI does not exist anymore.
Right.
NCAA has put in this new system called the NET, and do you know what that stands for?
It just stands for you got to play good teams.
It replaces the old RPI.
Right, you got to play good teams. You got to get good wins on the road. How much you beat teams by with a maximum limit of 10 points of value. You add it all, put it all in the blender. It's like a gumbo, right? Sean Payton, gumbo. You put it up in the gumbo, you stir it all up, NET. LSU currently at 16 in the country. That bodes very well.
All right, well, we got a little highlight package for you, and let me explain this. You know, this was a big win for the Tiger basketball team, and we're going to hear from Devin White in a little bit. We have a lot of Saints tonight, rightfully so, right?
Who dat, baby?
Third time in franchise history to
Cannot
be in the
wait.
NFC
Cannot
Championship
wait.
game. But right now we have a highlight package from Ole Miss. But the Tigers beat them, so it doesn't matter. But we want you to see some of Tremont Waters' stuff that he did on the floor and how they stopped this Ole Miss crowd. Let's take a look at the highlight package of the Tiger win over the Rebels.
For just the 5th time since this building opened in 2016, it is a sellout. And why not? The Rebels have treated their students to a 10-game winning streak. They are ranked for the first time since 2013. Ole Miss at 13-2, playing host to another red-hot team, the LSU Tigers. They have won 5 in a row, and they are just outside of the top 25. Going to be a lot of fun. Now, I'd like to meet the guy who had these 4 teams undefeated after a week and a half of SEC play. We all expected Tennessee to be playing well, but Ole Miss, South Carolina, and LSU have yet to lose a conference game, but that will change after tonight.
They are an extremely talented team, but they're extremely young as well.
Olejniczak stays with it and gets the basket.
Days being one of those key ingredients for the LSU Tigers.
Boy, how about Javonte Smart?
And while everybody was ball watching, there goes Taylor on the backside.
Smart almost got a piece of that, but Breein Tyree stays with it and buries another 3.
The biggest thing they got to do is find Tyree.
What a pass. Devontae Shuler saw him out the side window. There's another turnover. Tyree in the open floor. Here's Tyree. Little step back. Breein Tyree now with 10. Alley-oop. Oh, my goodness. Did Marlon Taylor get up? Tyree, though, gets the miss. Maybe Williams had 9 blocks against Grambling. Catch and shoot. Terrence Davis.
LSU has a tough time thinking.
Waters. Davis. Elevates and converts.
He is good off the catch. He is great off the bounce.
If that one goes down. Mays kicks it back to Smart. He'll line up a 3. Got it! Stevens going baseline, spins into trouble, and got it to go off the window. Mays, he's tied up. That one's deflected. Buffett to the basket. He lays it up and in. 5 quick ones now for the Rebels. Led by 6 back in the first half, but LSU has led by a dozen a few times in this game. And LSU and Ole Miss were tied at 31 at halftime, and LSU stepped on the gas in the final 20 minutes.
Kermit Davis got to welcome his team to the top 25, and I wouldn't be surprised if Will Wade can't do the same thing next week. SEC is strong and deep and talented enough to win big-time games on the road.
And then we have the win over Ole Miss, really, really big.
83-69, the final score. You shoot the ball well. Again, it was truly a game of 2 halves. First half, couldn't shoot the ball very well, but they held Ole Miss to 31, and you look up and boom, it's all tied. And then the second half, they got into a good rhythm and a good flow. They continued their defensive presence. And Cavell Bigby Williams, it's so ironic. they don't win the Alabama game without him. The next game against Arkansas, he gets zeros. No points, no rebounds after a double-double prior. That's when Naz Reid goes off and gets 27. Then you go on the road against Ole Miss, and Naz Reid, basically in foul trouble, is non-existent. And there's Cavell Bigby Williams again, 14 points, 10 rebounds, couple of alterations here and there. So they're getting it in a variety of ways. But the main thing is, boy, they're playing hard. They're playing together. They're starting to get it. They're learning each other's tendencies, and that's always the big key. And obviously, they're a well-coached, very tight-knitted group. And you put that together, that's dangerous when you have talent.
And isn't that a sign of a good team when different guys get it done?
Yeah. Well, but you got to have that. The steady thing is the backcourt with Skylar Mays, Trey Waters, and
Smart.
Javonte Smart coming off the bench or starting. That's to me, that's the best trio backcourt in the league. And it's young, but it's the best because they can do a variety of things. And I'm going to tell you what, it's a good group.
Another thing that's been trending for the last 5-6 years is just be athletic, be an athlete no matter what sport you're playing. Those guys are athletes.
Marlon Taylor is an athlete who's become, in a matter of a week, he's become a basketball player. He played all kind of sports, and now he's learning. And I'm telling you, he reminds me a lot on a lower scale of David Thompson. His jumping ability is literally through the roof.
Wow.
They throw alley-oops. He and Trey Waters, they throw it up there. He goes and gets it and throws it down. The true definition of an alley-oop. He's remarkably good defender, knocking down some shots with the mid-range. He's become ever since he's been inserted in the starting lineup, they're better defensively. They run the floor better. He's just a tremendous athlete, becoming a pretty darn good basketball player.
And I'll say this as I sit here next to you, sir. We're talking about LSU basketball, you start dropping names like David Thompson and Derek Taylor and Ethan Martin and Chris Jackson. We're in an upper level there.
Well, there are some similarities.
I'm not knocking you. I'm emphasizing the point you're making.
They have a chance to be a sneaky, dangerous ball club. They got to stay healthy. They got to stay together, and they've got to keep listening to the coaching staff, who obviously do a tremendous job in their scouting reports, and that's the key. You put together the scouting report, but how intently and focused are the players when you're going through this? And obviously they are. I tried to get Will Wade on my radio show this morning, and he said, I'd love to. Unfortunately, I'm flying to Baltimore today. So he's in Oxford, Mississippi. They get home early in the morning. He's off to Baltimore to recruit because he gave, I'm sure, the players a day off. He'll be back in town tomorrow morning, and they'll start putting the game plan in for Saturday against South Carolina. The life of a coach, it never ends.
You brought up a lot of good names, and everybody has their own case and their own favorite. But one of my favorites that I used to absolutely love to watch, your teammate, your dear friend, Ethan Martin.
He was great.
Boy, did he run that floor? Was he in charge of that floor?
He was totally in charge, and that's what Tremont Waters does. That would have been a great one-on-one matchup. Different style, different type, but so effective, and it just gives gives the coaches a calming influence, and it gives your team, the guys on the floor with you, you feel like, okay, we're in control, we know what we're doing, and you can't press. You cannot be pressed by another team because they just dribble through it.
We're going to take a break. When we come back, we've got a little LSU football for you. You're going to hear from Devin White and what it meant to him to be an LSU Tiger, of course, on the heels of his decision to declare for the NFL draft. A lot of Saints coming up tonight, and rightfully so. We're at Scoreboards. Let me tell you about Scoreboards.
We sure are.
Open Tuesday through Sunday at 11 a.m. You got the Express Lunch Special. They get it going, they get you in, they get you out. $6.50 Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, $8.50 on Friday. Chicken fettuccine, red beans and rice, which I ate today. They were fabulous. Hamburger steak, crawfish etouffee. Scoreboards, 10655 Coursey Boulevard next to Anton's Fine Jewelers. Lots of stuff happening here. There's a huge watch party for the Saints on Sunday with a DJ out on the patio prior to the game. Scoreboard Sports Grill and Catering. Do connect on social media. Check the events page. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. They got the bald snow crabs, the bald shrimp. We had the debut of Overtime with Roman Banks earlier this evening. It was a big, big hit. Bald snow crabs, bald shrimp, the bread pudding. They've got that every Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. I think they're even going to have it this Sunday. Check with somebody here. That's Scoreboard, Sports Grill, and Catering for all of your needs. Saints watch party for the NFC Championship game Sunday. Doors open at 11. Game kicks off just after 2 o'clock. So you want to get in that number. Huge crowd tonight that came out to see the Southern show. Huge crowd here. We got our regular gang in front of us here for the Tigers Roar show. You're invited all the time. Check the events page on Facebook. We'll come back with a little LSU football. Baton Rouge, Lafayette, New Orleans. Stay with us.
Going golfing. Ooh. Off to golf.
You're picking that up.
Off to the range, honey.
Bye.
Oh, that was close. Glad you got the backup camera installed.
Yep.
You don't need a new car to have new technology. Mike's Audio, conveniently located on Airline Highway near the corner of Bluebonnet.
Hi, I am Dr. Farrell Frugier Jr., and I am a general dentist at Frugier Family Dentistry. I was born and raised in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I went to Catholic High School, LSU, and LSU School of Dentistry in New Orleans, where I received my DDS degree in 1986. I always have and will continue to be committed to continuing my education, to invest in technology which makes the diagnosis and delivery of dentistry more thorough, more comfortable, and more aesthetically pleasing. In our practice, we are here to serve the patients. We want to improve their quality of life and to develop relationships with our patients. In dentistry, we have a chance to impact lives on a daily basis, not just by doing dentistry, but by getting to know them and being a part of their life. We also believe in giving back to our community. So every year, we give back to the Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank, Toys for Tots, and Mary Bird Perkins Cancer Center. Please stop by and visit our office. We would love to take care of you and your family.
Hi, I'm Jordy Heltberg for Tremonti's Meat and Seafood Market at 12451 Old Jefferson Highway. Chairman's Reserve steaks, their pork, their chicken, their seafood, top of the line. Primo barbecue pits, Icy Tech coolers. They can go anywhere and cater anything for you. Go to 751-7665 to call Tremonti's Meat and Seafood Market, where good meat ain't cheap and cheap meat ain't good. Tremonti's Meat and Seafood Market.
Cypress Lake Apartments are conveniently located off Segan Lane in Baton Rouge, a CLK multifamily management property. Come see this community, which has many amenities including swimming pools, fitness room, playground, and much more. 1, 2, and 3 bedroom apartments. Stop by Cypress Lake Apartments, call 225-293-6789, or go online, live at cypresslakeapts.com.
Thank you.
We continue with Tigers Roar here from Scoreboards on a Wednesday night. Roman Banks still in the house. Did the overtime show each and every Wednesday. You can make it tonight. A little Southern at 6:30, a little LSU at 8 o'clock. Appreciate all the Jaguar fans that came out. Willie Titus, one of the greatest basketball players in Southern history, in the house. He was a guest on that show. I met Willie tonight. What a fine man. He was in here. Coach Funches of the women's basketball team, Coach Woods. And Sean Woods, the men's basketball coach at Southern, he's a key part of one of the greatest college basketball games ever. Won't you enlighten the folks?
Kentucky Duke NCAA tournament. Rick Pitino coaching the Wildcats. Jamal Mashburn and company. Duke, of course, that was the Christian Laettner shot that the shot heard around the world. Many still consider the greatest college basketball game ever played, ever witnessed. Sean Woods hit the floater in the lane to keep Kentucky in it late, and then Duke came up with the miracle shot to win it and advance in the tournament. So Sean Woods will do a great job at Southern University. He's a really high-quality coach, high-quality human being. I really like Sean. He'll do a fabulous job for the Jaguars.
Yeah, he's going to need a little time, but he'll get it going in the right direction. Jordy, let's kick it to LSU football. Coach Orgeron was in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex earlier this week recruiting. You talked about Coach Wade going to Baltimore. There's no boundaries where LSU sports and LSU football are recruiting. Wednesday, February 6th, getting closer and closer and closer. 3 weeks away,
right?
And they got 6 slots to fill. Mike Scarborough of TigerBait.com, away from the microphone tonight. We'll get Mike next week, but Jordy, it's all about recruiting these last 3 weeks.
Well, yeah, it's very pivotal that you get the right pieces to fill in that last piece of the puzzle. And Ed Orgeron said they want defensive linemen, so we know there's a big kid up there in Amite, Louisiana, that everybody, Alabama wants, LSU wants. We'll see what happens. Look, who knows what's going through the mind, because right now, Alabama lost their offensive coordinator. They just now lost their defensive coordinator, who's going to the Cleveland Browns as a defensive line coach. They've lost everything. So how is Nick Saban going to recover from that? This is a great opportunity for Ed Orgeron, Dave Aranda, Corey Raymond, and the rest of that defensive staff to put the finishing touches on what they hope to be a lot of defensive players in those 6 spots.
Yeah, we'll see. Like I said, Mike Scarborough of TigerBait.com will connect with us again next week and for the subsequent weeks, including on signing day night when we do that edition of Tigers Roar. Now, Jordy, another part of recruiting that has become vogue in the last 10 years, you got to get those guys who are eligible to go to the draft to try to come back.
Yeah.
Christian Fulton, Michael Divinity, Rashard Lawrence. Some of those guys that said, hey, we want to come back.
Right.
And that's the other part of recruiting, the in-house that all schools deal with.
Unless you're a Devin White and a Greedy Williams who are going to be first-round draft picks, you can't pass up that opportunity. They're not going to improve their draft status, and the money's just too good. And Alexander, kind of iffy there. But LSU hasn't been hurt like they have been in the past. Georgia hurt bad. A&M hurt bad. Alabama hurt bad. LSU, not so bad.
Yeah, so, it'll be curious to see how that goes forward. But, Devin White, I read some stuff where it depends on where he's drafted exactly, but you could be looking at $10 or $11 million guaranteed if he's in that top 12 slots of the draft. And, of course, the higher he would go, the higher that number would go.
Yeah.
And, Jordan, you just can't turn that down. I mean, he's about to be 21 years old next month, I believe. His birthday present's coming at the end of April. The NFL draft is in Nashville this year, the last weekend in April.
Can't say no. I mean, I never in my wildest dreams did I think he would ever stay, but I'm sure it was a very difficult decision because he really loved the school. He loved how he was treated here. He's beloved here. Greedy Williams, I'm not faulting him. He did what he thought was best. But when Devin White said, yep, everybody knows he's going to be a high draft pick. But when he decided, he said, look, I'm playing. I'm going to play in that Fiesta Bowl. I want to keep playing for LSU. And the free Devin White when he had to sit out the first half against Alabama on that ridiculous call, all those things added up to his Q factor, which is off the charts when it comes to LSU fans.
Well, when his decision, he announced it mid-morning on Monday this week. And, I'm one of these guys who gets a lot of info off social media. I didn't see a negative comment like, oh, you should have stayed. When lots of times you get reaction on both sides of the fence. Everybody was thanking him. appreciating him, wishing him the best. I mean, it had to be 99%
no doubt.
behind him.
No doubt.
We've got some video here for you, prepared by Devin White, in a little message to the LSU fans, to the university, and his teammates. Here's Tiger linebacker headed to the NFL, Devin White.
Greetings, Tiger Nation. It is with great honor and pride that I come to you to say thank you. Thank you for all that you have done for me in the past 3.5 years of my life.
Only choose one university, and that would be Louisiana State University.
The opportunity to attend the flagship campus of this great state, play in the world-renowned stadium known to all as Death Valley, and to be a part of such a phenomenal community are sweet memories that I will cherish forever. Your unwavering support will never be forgotten, and I'm beyond grateful for having you all to stick by my side through the glory and trumpet of my collegiate career. As a small-town country boy from Spring Hill, Cullen, in Cotton Valley, Louisiana, dreaming to play in the NFL always seemed so far away. However, it was all God's plan to place the opportunity within arm's reach. And I've chosen to accept the challenge. I would like to thank God, my family, coaches, and teammates, mentors, and close staff members that played a part in molding me into a humble, gracious young man. To Coach Les Miles and Coach Frank Wilson for offering me my first scholarship. To Dave Aranda, thank you for everything that you have done for me, especially helping me become LSU's first Buckets Award winner. To Coach O, thank you for caring about me much more than a player, but rather a son. Thank you for leading this team to a great season, building upon what you are capable of doing for this team in the near future. The support you have selflessly given me has been truly remarkable. After careful consideration and prayer, in various conversations with those who are close to me, I've decided to sacrifice the remainder of my college career and enter the 2019 NFL Draft.
It just looks different.
He's the best linebacker in college football.
Looks like he belongs on the next level.
It will always be a mission of mine to represent Louisiana State University to the best of my ability. To the exceptional players who have came before me, thank you for paving the way for young athletes such as myself. To the players that will come after me, there is nothing in life that can't be reached without prayer, determination, and the will to get it done. Wearing purple and gold means so much to me, as well as playing on Saturday nights in Death Valley. And I will promise to continue to make each and every one of you proud in the next phase of my life. To whom much is given, much will be required. Although I'm sacrificed the remainder of my college career, I made a promise to my family and coaches that I would do whatever it takes to obtain my bachelor's degree from Louisiana State University and become the first college Division I graduate within my immediate family. Thank you, Tiger Nation. I am forever thankful. Forever LSU. Get Live 40. God bless.
We continue with Tigers.
That was really neat. That's good video stuff.
That was well done.
Class act, Devin White. Class act.
That was tough. And look, here's the other thing. I talked about this on the radio the other day, Jordy. Lots of former athletes help their team, their program, their coach, as you've done for 30 whatever years with the basketball program. Devin White will be a spokesperson for the purple and gold. He'll do what he can to help get future recruits in, make that phone call, shake that hand.
He'll be there.
And again, lots of athletes do that. Most of them do. All of them, close to all of them. He'll be on that list.
Yeah, he'll come back on his off week next year, and they'll introduce him during the at some point in time after the first quarter of the game, and he'll get a standing ovation in Tiger Stadium. Well deserved. I just know Daisy May go eat some high quality food now. High quality.
They're going to have a lot of friends to run around the pasture with.
Daisy May's going to a good horse farm. Yes,
we're going to take a break, and Jordy, when we come back, how about the black and gold when those Saints go marching in? You and I are both from New Orleans. The Saints were born when we were young kids.
Love it. Love them.
And I remember in my adult life thinking I'd never see the Saints win a Super Bowl.
Same here.
It's not going to happen.
Same here.
Yeah, they're going to win a game or whatever.
Now I'm greedy. I want two.
This is the third trip to the NFC title game. They lost to the Bears in 2006, beat the Vikings on the way to the Super Bowl. Third trip. This one's in the Dome, like the Viking game was. Bears game was in Soldier Field.
Who was quarterback in the Vikings then?
Ooh.
Come on.
Eric Kramer? No.
Brett Favre.
I was thinking Bears.
Favre.
My bad. I was
Brett
thinking Bears.
Favre.
Yeah, he threw the pick near the end. Okay. Bears jumped in my head, and I said Eric Kramer.
I got you.
But the New Orleans Saints, wow. What a story. He got hit in the mouth by the Eagles early and overcame it.
Jimmy Buffett will be performing the national anthem.
I did not know that.
And Choppa will be performing at halftime.
You want to hear a cool story about the game the other day? Jonathan Poche, you know Jonathan, member of the Pelican team. He's sitting in his seat, dome's packed, and the seat in front of him and over one is empty. And they get ready to do the anthem, and the guy in front of him turns around and says, "That's my brother singing the anthem."
Really?
So he's like, "Whoa!" Well, the guy knocks it out. It comes and sits in that empty seat right in front of Jonathan. I said, "How cool is that?"
That's pretty good. Who did? I don't know who it was that sang it, but I'm glad he sang it well. Jimmy Buffett, Sunday, and of course, they're gonna drop it with the Hudak chant, and that's the greatest. That's the greatest.
The dome will be rocking. The foam in the dome will be flowing.
How about this one? Last night, Smoothie King's Center, Justin Timberlake's performing.
My daughter went.
Right there, there's a break in the set, and he gets on the stage. He goes, "Let's do it." He broke out the Hudak chant. Place went nuts. Place went nuts. Yes.
Let's take a break, come back, put some Sean Payton, some Drew Brees on you. We're at Scoreboards on Coursey Boulevard between Sherwood Forest and Airline, open Tuesday through Sunday at 11 a.m. You don't want to miss it. Big Saints watch party next Sunday. You have a DJ before the game, food specials, drink specials, Saints in the Rams kicking it off at 2:05. Jordy Hultberg, Tommy Chrysan, Baton Rouge, Lafayette, New Orleans. You're watching Tigers Roar. Spread the roar on Pelican Sports TV. Stay with us.
Creel Tree Service is a licensed and insured tree service providing tree and stump removal, topping, trimming, cabling, pruning, and fertilizing. We have free stump removal with takedowns, free estimates, affordable rates, and senior citizens discounts. Call 774-TREE. That's 774-8733. Get your yard ready for the warmer weather. If it deals with a tree, call me, Creel Tree Service, 774-8733. That's 774-TREE.
When my wife and I started Relief Windows, what we were trying to do, what our goal was to give a quality job to a homeowner. Everybody's scared of contractors. We wanted to change the mold of what that is. Not showing up on time, not answering the phone, somebody running with your money. The reason why you should pick Relief Windows to do your renovation of your home, windows, doors, Hardy Planker siding, is because of the experience, quality service of our company. Service is everything we have. It's the foundation of our company. We're going to show up on time. We're going to do the job right. Over 60% of our customers is customer referral. We're a local company here in Baton Rouge, built in Baton Rouge, staying in Baton Rouge. Okay. The job's not done until you're happy and we're happy. It's built the old-fashioned way, with a handshake. Here at Relief Windows is honored to be official window, door, and siding company of LSU Athletics, from one winning team to another.
They said I could find you here. Why are you fishing? Our company's got to ship out 2 full color brochures and 20 color copies. You're killing me.
It's done. Designed, printed, packaged, and shipped.
How?
You just got to know the right people. Baker Printing, the printing people.
How come you get to fish in this private lake?
Like I said, you just got to know the right people. You can know the right people too.
Hi folks, Clarence Buggs here. Coach Roger Cador would take the time to tell you how to catch our brand new show, The Roger Cador Show, but as you can see, he's kind of busy right now out at Scoreboards, Baton Rouge's newest sports grill with food that is absolutely amazing. Catch the show 8 o'clock Tuesday nights, 6:30 p.m. on Wednesdays, and on Pelican Television's YouTube channel as well. You want to come out and have a great time. It's awesome, isn't it, Coach? Mm-hmm. Told you.
The Acord Eye Clinic has moved to a new office, just minutes from the old office at 8280 YMCA Plaza Drive, Building 9. Dr. Shonda Acord and her staff welcome patients of all ages, including children and adults. They have a wide variety of frames and sunglasses, including Maui Jim, The Acord Eye Clinic features modern instruments and state-of-the-art technology, including digital retinal scanning with Optomap, hard-to-fit contact lenses, as well as professional care and service. Open Monday through Friday, 8 till 5. Call for an appointment, 225-767-EYES, and visit the website visionsource-br.com. The Acord Eye Clinic looks forward to seeing you.
This is an important announcement. If you're between 50 and 85 and worried about your loved ones, you can still get affordable life insurance for peace of mind.
My life insurance coverage is guaranteed, and I was not required to get a medical exam.
I had high blood pressure and diabetes, and I got my coverage with one telephone call. No exam necessary.
I'm a smoker, and I wanted to take care of my family. I called to get my life insurance and my affairs in order. I wanted to do the right thing.
Call Final Expense No Exam Insurance. Your rates are guaranteed and will never increase.
I called and learned that this insurance cannot be canceled even if you get sick or gain weight.
And there are no restrictions on how my beneficiaries use the money when I'm gone.
Approval was easy and the price was right. I wanted to do this for my children.
Call 800-654-9927, 800-654-9927.
We continue with Tigers Roar from Scoreboards. Connect with Scoreboards on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. You got the YouTube page, youtube.com/Pelican Broadcast, in which all the shows, the local shows, the Roger Kadar Show, Sports Update with Kate, Good Rockin' the Night with the Louisiana Music Hall of Fame, Overtime with Roman Banks, Tigers Roar, they all end up on YouTube.
Wait a minute, what's happening here? It used to just be Tigers Roar. Now it's like blowing up.
Scoreboards is blowing up. The TV schedule's blowing up.
I heard Sunday for the all-you-can-eat barbecue in the Saints game, it was standing room only. That's awesome.
The Saints, the Black and Gold Nation. And
that means this Sunday. Get here early.
The doors open at 11.
Get here early.
Get your high top table. Get a table in the front. Get ready for the big video wall. 20 TVs in here. It's impossible to not see the game. And everybody will be cheering. Everybody will be moaning.
Can I reserve a table? Can I reserve a table?
You got to talk to ownership.
Okay. I thought that was you.
No, I'm not owner.
Oh, okay.
No. But I can give you their number.
Okay, I can figure that one out.
Hey, we teased you about the New Orleans Saints for the third time in franchise history into the NFC Championship game. They're 1-1. I'll throw it out there right now. I think they're going to beat the Los Angeles Rams. They are a 3.5-point favorite by the wise guys in Vegas. Here's Coach Sean Payton after the win against the Eagles and talking about the New Orleans Saints. Sean Payton.
Look, it was a hard-fought game, and first thing you'd say is tip your hat to Philadelphia. Man, those guys came in, brought the fight to us early, and really put us in a hole. You know, our guys fought back defensively in the second half. We were outstanding. Obviously, it didn't seem like there was many drives because the time of possession felt like one of the quarters was just that early drive. But we made enough plays. Wasn't a perfect game. And certainly there are a lot of things that we'll have to clean up. But most importantly, we got the win. And, you know, against, listen, defending champions. And that means something, you know, when you're able to beat a team like that. So any questions? Look, I thought there were a handful of swings in the momentum. You know, for us, that was a big one, you know, making the first down on the fake punt, turning that into points. We had some tough calls go against us tonight, you know, and not it's hard to look at each or any one of the calls, but we fought through that. And so I think probably when we watch this tape, there's going to be probably 4 or 5 of those key swings early on. You know, they went against us, but that's not unusual in the postseason. And you know, we've played from behind quite a bit this season and been able to come back. And this was, you know, obviously an important one. Yeah, like I said, I thought, man, we did a great job of getting off the field on third down. I thought they ran the ball fairly efficiently early, Philadelphia that is, and then, there was that one long drive where, we ate a lot of the clock up, and so it felt like we were into the fourth quarter fairly quick, but they were fantastic. Well, look, it's part of one of the things you're wanting to do, and yet the score still, the score still wasn't, it was close the whole game. We were trying to get in position there late to get a field goal, and man, we weren't able to come up with it and put them on the field again for another drive. And fortunately, we came up with the interception. So it was a good team win. Yeah, listen, as a coach, you always look at it like, man, you want to start fast. We've started fast here before, and now at some point you got to move on from it. But fortunately, we were able to and settle in.
Sean, what was your thought process on the fake punt? You're on your own 30-yard line.
Yeah, well, listen, each one of those is kind of calculated. Mike felt pretty good about the look we were getting. I trust Taysom a lot. He's a powerful runner. And so generally the looks that are somewhat favorable also come with some risk. And but we felt, especially where we were in the game, and look, I know it was early in the game, and yet there was still similar to New York, if you will, where we needed to shift the momentum. And we were able to, fortunately, and take advantage of it. But it was really based on the looks we saw during the week.
Something you had in the game plan?
Oh, yeah.
In that situation?
Yes. Yes, it wasn't just, let's just try this in the first quarter. No, we spent a lot of time on it.
On that long drive, there were a lot of swings. I think you guys had 3 penalties go against you.
Well, in order to have 22 plays,
Right. Just the resiliency of your team.
well, it was a big the third down that Drew converts to Mike was huge. There were too many plays specifically, I think there were 4 penalties, if I'm not mistaken, but at least 3. And, we hung in there and fought through it. So that was encouraging. Yeah, and I mentioned earlier, we've been, in our league, it's there's going to be games where you fall behind, and we've played in a handful of those already, and I think there's great faith in both sides of the ball and the kicking game to weather any storm like that, and we were able to today. Yeah. Well, look, we needed that last one, and we elected to run it. But ultimately, we felt like this game was going to be about situational football. We felt the red zone offense and defense was going to be important. We felt the third down offense and defense. And I thought in the second half, we got off the field defensively on third down. And on offense, I thought we were able to convert some big ones, and especially the big one late in the game to Mike. Because those relative to time of possession and what you're trying to achieve, those are significant. He's got real strong hands in traffic. He's tough and competitive. Man, I mean, he's one of those players that believes he can, make those type of plays, and Drew did a great job of finding them. Those were significant plays that, really changed the direction of the game. No, listen, we're right at that. We got a quick peek as to what we might get defensively, and so you think about a jump ball maybe, or And then when we kind of weighed everything where we were at, we felt good about just taking the field goal. Yeah, listen, there's a lot that you get from this team offensively, a lot of motion, some RPOs. They do a good job of spraying the ball around. The quarterback's been outstanding. You know, it's hard to get to him. He made a few throws that were just, you know, unbelievable. But I did think we were able to push the pocket a little later as the game went on, and I did think that helped. You know, we tried to find a way to disrupt the passing game, and you can do that either with your rush or outside. And I thought we were able to get our hands on some receivers. But it's a talented group.
Coach, the aggression to get that touchdown pass on the fourth down as opposed to kicking right there, you feel like the touchdown was must?
I didn't feel like it was a must, but we felt pretty good about, you know, 2 or 3 of the calls we had. Unfortunately, you know, it worked out, but we felt pretty confident. And, you know, it was calculated, and yet, you know, it was on that drive where you know, I think the momentum, that was significant, you know, to get that 7. Sometimes, Ed, it's maybe meant for that. Other times, man, there's a lot that goes into, you know, we play this team, and you have to go in with the mindset that scoring is going to be at a premium, and so your risk factor might go up a little bit, and then there's some weeks where you might be less tolerant for that. I think a lot of it's been depending on who we're playing, and trying to be smart also. Yeah, always, man, the seasons he's been having, it's, you know, gut-wrenching. He's played so well for us, and we'll see where he's at.
How big was it on that same thing that has a lot of stuff up, and even Tyler Davidson with the game he had?
Yeah. Look, it's unfortunately one of the challenges this late in the season, and I'm proud of those guys. I'm proud of that locker room. They fought through a lot, and you know, managed to get the win. And you know, again, it's these are tough games.
How much more difficult is it all as the transition process in the postseason moving forward to the next week versus the regular season?
Well, I would say the challenge is just within the schedule, protecting the routine. You know, 8 teams went to 4, but the amount of people that cover those teams didn't change any. And so just do the division. And so protecting the schedule, staying on the routine, and then quickly diving into a real good Ram team that we played, seems like a long time ago, but and you know, getting ready to play that game. I haven't even gotten to that yet. I mean, obviously, when you play the last game, you kind of know who the opponent's going to be, but there's so much focus on the game you're playing that, you know, it's getting ahead of it a little bit. I don't listen. It can impact you relative to the number of snaps played, but most importantly, it impacts your own defense and their rest, and then the opponent you're playing, who's getting that many snaps. I mean, that's a lot, you know. But a lot had to happen for that to take place, and you know, regretfully, there's those penalties that hurt you, but fortunately, we were able to overcome them. No, we have meetings the night before games. So, I mean, the game's on in the training room, but I hadn't. We'll look at it on coach's tape.
Coach, John, speaking specifically to the Rams, can you talk about this excitement of having one game in the city you're building for Super Bowl?
Well, listen, we think it's a tremendous advantage to play here. Man, our fans were fantastic tonight. Communication becomes difficult. We've been on both sides of it. You know, we played some tough road venues where it's real loud, Minnesota, Seattle. You and we played home here, and so that's one of the reasons you fight so hard for the best seed you can, so that you have a chance to play, with the noise in your favor. So we got a lot of work to do. Again, it's a real good team we beat today, and the great championship team that can't say enough about them. Well, listen, anytime you get a delayed game and then a timeout there, there's an attrition to that noise, and I'd like to think that was the case. Look, I've saw 12 men in a huddle before on an important down, and so it's all of the communication that strains you, not just on one play, but throughout the course of the game. They're all big right now. I mean, right? In other words, it's a game to advance, and it's a playoff game. It's not a best of 7. It's 3 hours, and so they're all important. And I would bet more often than not, playoff games a lot of the times involve teams that are playing each other again, whether they were division teams or whether you just look at the numbers. So. But that does seem like it was quite a ways back.
Sean Payton, after the win over Philly, I've got to believe all this talk about Sean McVay, the new hot shot on the block, the new guru of offensive football, and there's Sean Payton, been around the block once or twice, got a Super Bowl ring. I got to believe he's thinking deep back in the back of his mind, you know what, I'm going to show this young guy who's still the best in the business, because he's a very competitive coach. You can see how he is on the sidelines, and he's talking trash, and he's doing everything. He wants to win. I got to believe Sean Payton has something up his sleeve for this one.
And I want to say this too. Doug Peterson of the Eagles, Louisiana
Class
guy,
act.
went to Louisiana Monroe.
Yeah.
Called it, had that little wrinkle in the Super Bowl that kind of sealed the touchdown back to Foles.
Yeah.
He had a play with that little lateral going the other way that totally fooled the Saints the other day, picked up big yardage. That guy, they were the reigning Super Bowl champs till Sunday. Well, they're still the reigning champs, but you know what I mean? And they had a road victory in the playoffs the week before, albeit a field goal off the upright and the crossbar. Doug Peterson, I think, is a heck of a coach. He has quickly risen up that ladder, but what a problem they got in Philadelphia. Carson Wentz with the $20 million a year. Nick Foles is a free agent.
Yeah.
They can't keep them both.
No. Well, he came out quickly and said Carson Wentz is our quarterback. Nick Foles is going to play somewhere else. There's no question. Joe Flacco is going to play somewhere else. Here's the bone I've got to pick.
Okay.
You see what the mayor of Atlanta did?
Oh.
Well, now what is up with that?
Jordy, help me.
Please, anybody but the New Orleans Saints. I want the Saints to win and take that city of Atlanta over and just shut those people up once and for all.
Once she got blistered on social media, she walked it back a little bit. Oh, I was joking. No, you weren't.
No, you weren't.
You can't unscramble the egg.
No,
right,
you weren't.
Jordy?
That's right. No, you weren't.
You can't unscramble the egg.
No, you weren't.
You weren't joking. You meant that. I get a little loyalty to the Falcons, but you don't say that when tens of thousands of people are going to come, spend their money, spend their time in your city.
Exactly. A lot more people from New Orleans would head to Atlanta than there are from L.A. I can promise you that.
Not even close.
Not even close. Be careful.
Yeah,
we're coming, baby.
Yeah,
we're coming.
And look, I'll say it. I'll get into it later in the week on radio and on my new podcast. But I think the Saints are going to win the game, and I think by more than the point spread from the wise guys in
I
Vegas.
hope so. 3.5 is too close for me, so I hope that's the case. Home field gives you 3, so they think it's going to be really, really close.
Any thoughts on Chiefs-Patriots? Going to be an Arctic blast in Kansas City.
I just hope Kansas City wins. I'm so tired of the Patriots, and God bless them. But Bill Belichick, they always criticize Belichick, the players and media guy. Why do you have the indoor facility? It's snowing, it's cold outside. Why are you making them practice outside? Because he's always thinking there might be a game down the road where there's snow and it's cold. And sure enough, here comes Kansas City.
a good friend of ours, Trey Blossman, was on the radio with me the other day. He said, man, he understands, he gets it, it's in Kansas City, it might be 0 degrees on the thermometer. He thinks it's unfortunate that a game of that magnitude would have to be in those conditions. Now, Major League Baseball has played many a World Series game when it was 25, 30 degrees and sleeting. It is what it is, right?
That's what makes football special, though. I mean, the old days, Minnesota, when both teams were on the same sideline and it was freezing cold, and the Packers against, the Cowboys against the Packers, and Bart Starr sneaking in the Ice Bowl. So that's what makes football special. Tom Brady's pretty good in the cold weather.
It's tough to go against the Patriots. I don't know, but the Chiefs, Andy Reid, we'll see. Of course, ground to cover for the Saints. They got to beat the Rams, and they'll punch that ticket. Super Bowl's February 3rd in Atlanta. 5:35 Louisiana time kickoff. I can tell you now, there'll be a watch party here at Scoreboards. Hopefully the Saints are in it. The Super Bowl is one of the most watched television events ever. So even if the Saints do not make it, huge party here at Scoreboards.
Don't even say that.
No, they're going to make it.
Don't even say that. What are you talking about?
When the Saints make it.
Go to commercial break.
Be here. Let's get to the
break.
Go
to break.
Spread the roll. We'll be right back.
Yeah, let's go.
No one can stop me when I taste the feeling. Nothing could ever bring me down. Nothing could ever bring me down. Taste the feeling.
Oh, great party.
Oh, thanks for coming, guys.
Better get that car warmed up.
I'm on it.
I don't miss those days.
Yeah, we just had a remote start installed.
Oh, us too. Nice.
It's gonna be nice and toasty.
Why don't we have one of those?
We're fine. Okay, I can't feel my fingers.
I bet everyone else can.
You don't need a new car to have new technology. Mike's Audio, conveniently located on Airline Highway near the corner of Bluebonnet.
Bolello's Furniture and Appliances, your dependable independent. Depend on us for service, for selection, for price. Get huge Whirlpool savings. Shop now and save on Whirlpool appliances throughout the store. Plus, experience our price match guarantee and ask about special financing. You can depend on the know-how of people who live appliances every day. Bolello's Furniture and Appliances, your dependable independent with nationwide buying power.
Hi, I am Dr. Farrell Frugier Jr., and I am a general dentist at Frugier Family Dentistry. I was born and raised in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I went to Catholic High School, LSU, and LSU School of Dentistry in New Orleans, where I received my DDS degree in 1986. I always have and will continue to be committed to continuing my education, to invest in technology which makes the diagnosis and delivery of dentistry more thorough, more comfortable, and more aesthetically pleasing. In our practice, we are here to serve the patients. We want to improve their quality of life and to develop relationships with our patients. In dentistry, we have a chance to impact lives on a daily basis, not just by doing dentistry, but by getting to know them and being a part of their life. We also believe in giving back to our community. So every year, we give back to the Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank, Toys for Tots, and Mary Bird Perkins Cancer Center. Please stop by and visit our office. We would love to take care of you and your family.
For Total Home Pest Control, who are you going to call?
Call the Bug Man, 923-BUGS.
For Total Pest Control for your home or business, call the original Salvat.
Call the Bug Man today, 923-BUGS.
We continue with Tigers Roar here on a Wednesday night at Scoreboard. You're invited out for all the live tapings of TV shows, 3 on Tuesday. We got 2 on Wednesday. Coming soon, Glitter and Gossip on Mondays. Details coming in a couple of weeks on that. We had Kelly Hutchison on the radio on the show with us last week. That's coming up. I met with them today. They're working on a few things. But Glitter and Gossip coming to TV very soon. Jordy, Drew Brees turned 40 years old.
How about that?
Earlier this week.
How about
40
that?
years old, locked for the Hall of Fame, trying to get his second Super Bowl.
It does everything right, does it smart, it's done so much in the community of New Orleans, and the key to the game is to keep him clean, keep Aaron Donald off of him. You do that, Drew Brees has an opportunity to make something special happen, and I've got some food coming. Thank you. Thank you so much. So that's always the key.
And always the key for you is
I'm hungry.
The mini burgers.
I'm hungry.
One of the great things on the menu here at Scoreboards. We're about to get a good shot of it. There you go.
Yeah, you
the
get
mini burgers,
you get half
got
of
the
them.
kettle chips, and wow! And we're about to hear.
Get to the
Drew Brees.
video.
So Jordy is going to dive into the mini burgers. Just one of the many things here on the menu. Scoreboard's also available on Waiter. You can get your food delivered to you. Just go to the Waiter app and look for Scoreboard, Sports Grill and Catering, Coursey Boulevard, Baton Rouge. Let's hear from the birthday boy, Drew Brees, quarterback of the New Orleans Saints.
Yeah. Listen, we found a bunch of ways to win during the season. Every game kind of stood alone, but many of them came down to third quarter, fourth quarter, second half type comebacks where, and it took everybody, and it took maybe a big play on defense or a big play on offense or a big play on special teams to kind of turn the tide. And but they were all great team victories, and looks like that's carried over into the playoffs. Obviously, we didn't start this game the way that we wanted to. They jump out to a 14-point lead, but listen, we were calm, we were poised. We knew we were going to get things going, but obviously had to do that quickly. We were able to narrow the gap 14-10 at halftime, and then I think the turning point was really that 23-play drive in the third quarter that lasted 11 and a half minutes and kind of took us from our own 8-yard line to get a touchdown. I was just told that we actually gained 117 yards on that drive. I'm not sure if that's a record because of the penalties that kept setting us back. And so, yeah, we went on a 117-play drive, or a 117-yard drive in the third quarter to take the lead and then really didn't look back. I think that was the turning point in the game. I think, the crowd was with us all day. They were awesome. Dome field advantage, but defense played phenomenal as well, and we made enough plays down the stretch to get the win.
Particularly that drive, you have a trust with a receiver, unlike Mike Thomas, with another guy.
I mean, I've been very fortunate to have played with some great ones, and you spend a lot of time together to develop that trust, that confidence, that chemistry. And but it takes time on task, and we've had a run with some great ones here in New Orleans, but obviously over the last 3 years with Mike, I've just got so much trust and confidence in him. And what you see on game day is what I see in practice every day. It's not like the guy just turns it on for game day. He practices that way every day in practice. So that same intensity, attention to detail, that fire, passion, competitive drive. So, we try to put ourselves in those moments in practice. And then when game day shows up and we're making those same plays, it's no surprise to us. And certainly it's no surprise to anybody in this team to watch him do what he's been able to accomplish this year and what he was able to do today. He's a big-time player who wants to be the guy to make the plays when you need him most. And he did that today.
Michael Thomas and in the sense, there's only that talk right now.
Well, I mean, I think there's certainly an argument. Listen, there's a lot of great wide receivers in this league, but certainly he deserves to be in the conversation.
Do they double him less in this game?
Yeah, you know, they're you know, you go back to the first time we played them here, and I think it was a much different game plan with how they were handling him, and we just had to be patient. Other guys made plays, and then finally his opportunities kind of came towards the end of that game. But it was a bit of a different approach today. For one reason or another, there were times where he was getting, you know, more attention than others. But I'd say for the most part, it was, you know, you just had to pick and choose your moments. But it felt like there was more opportunities today.
Is the fake punt surprise you?
The fake punt?
Does that surprise you at all? What do you think that did for the direction of the game?
Well, you know, we converted 2 4th downs on that drive in order to go down and get our first touchdown of the game, right? So that was huge. Again, a special teams play that continues to drive and allows us to go down and get points. Just felt like we had a good play, and sure enough, you know, we got the look that we wanted and got the touchdown. Yeah. Well, they're calculated risks. You know, it's not like we're just flying by the seat of our pants out there. It's you know, these are things that we talk about. These are conversations that we have. You know, critical situations. You know, how's the team playing us? How's the tempo of the game going? I think we all felt like, man, we needed 7 there. And again, if you don't have a play you like, you don't go for it. But you have a play you like, you go for it, make it happen. Was that at the end of the game there, the last drive, or which one? Oh, the one to Mike. Yeah, it was a huge play. Unfortunately, we had a bunch of penalties that set us back, a couple holding calls and some other stuff that just, you know, really put us behind the chains. But that was a big play by him, kept that drive going, and again, turning point in the game, that drive, just to, you know, 23 plays, and to possess it for 11 and a half minutes. You know, it's pretty much the entire third quarter, but got us the lead, which I think, to be down 14 and now all of a sudden to take the lead in the third quarter, it was just a huge momentum shift and a tipping point.
What do you attribute to the number of penalties during the 117-yard
drive? Well, I'm trying to think what all of them were. You know, I think we had a couple holding calls, both on run plays and pass plays, and so it's just fundamentals, attention to detail. You know, listen, they're a great pass rush too. You know, so they got some guys that could rush the passer. And
I'm thinking about for you to start the first quarter. It seemed like both sides of the ball.
Yeah, listen, that's not the way we want to start. So, you know, call it what you want. I'm not sitting here going to say, hey, the 3 weeks off and all that stuff. I mean, listen, we had to get some guys healthy. You know, that was the most important thing. But that's not the way we wanted to start. But to overcome that, I think is the story here.
Drew, in 2009, you had some big interceptions that saved games in the postseason. Today, just what Marshawn did
Yeah.
that last drive.
Yeah. Well, man, I feel like our defense on a couple occasions this year, you know, has come up with some big turnovers at some critical times that were huge plays in the game. Either, you know, sealed the deal or you know, set up game winners. So they deserve a ton of credit. Obviously, Marshawn, I know the first interception I think he makes, and then we take that, we go down and score after that drive or on that drive. That was a great individual effort there. And then at the end of the game, just listen, if you're in the right place at the right time, you know, good things happen. You know, so when you talk about coaching defensive football, you talk about population of the ball, you're talking about eyes on the quarterback and just being in the right place, you know, at the right time. And he was definitely that today.
Based on, you know, for example, football, you guys have known about even last year in Minnesota.
Yeah.
You get one today. Do you feel like you're playing this game a long time? Do you feel like those kind of things eventually even up? Or
I just know this. If you do things the right way long enough, good things happen, right? And you play this game long enough, you're going to be a part of some crazy stuff. You're going to be on the winning side of some of that crazy stuff, and you're probably going to be on the losing side of some of that crazy stuff. Unfortunately, losing side last year. Fortunately, winning side this year.
Back in an NFC Championship game, do you let yourself appreciate that
A lot of work to do. So certainly very appreciative. Love the opportunity that we have to play that game here in front of our home fans. You know, we've always said it, you know, the regular season just puts you in a position to have this opportunity, right? Got a great team coming to town, right? And you know, you go back to our regular season matchup with those guys, just had a feeling that, you know, obviously I knew what our goals were, and we hope to be in this position, and I had a feeling that they would be as well. So they're a great football team that has had an incredible season, and obviously this should be a great football game.
14 teams are left down the league, and the 4 high-scoring teams in the NFL this season. How indicative of that is that to you of how this season has been played and how the game is played as a whole?
That's an interesting stat. I think there's some. Well, you gotta score points to win, but you gotta stop people to win too. You know, and so I think that certainly the defenses deserve to be talked about as well. But you know, playoff football is what we all, you know, aspire to have the opportunity to play. And you know, you look at both sides of the bracket, AFC, NFC. It's the 1 and 2 seeds, right? You know, so I think in many cases it's probably the guys that everybody thought would be here for one reason or another. We're grateful that we have this opportunity and look forward to the week of preparation to get ready for these guys.
Hey, Drew, sometimes in a big game like this, big stakes, it's human nature for players to go to the plate, not to lose, kind of tighten up. What is it about Sean that is the reason for that, it seems like, and how much do y'all feed off of that winning?
Yeah, it's that play to win mentality. It's that aggressive mentality. You know, I've been with Sean long enough now to say that he's always been like that. You know, from 06 until now, I think he's just. I think it's something that he knows that the offense and the team feeds off of. You know, it's just like calling the onside kick in the Super Bowl, right? Ambush. It was not a matter of if we were going to call it, it was when, right? And so when you just get that in guys' minds that, hey, we are going to be aggressive, we are going to play to win, it allows guys to relax and cut it loose. And I know he puts a lot of trust in me, you know, when we do dial that stuff up to make good decisions, and if it's not there, we check it down, we'll come back and call it again. But just that whole mentality of, hey, we're going to fake a punt, or we're going to, you know, kick an onside kick, or whatever it might be, it definitely develops a mindset amongst our team.
Drew, we're used to seeing some maybe short and intermediate route for Taysom Hill. What is the deep shot call to?
Well, I'm mad at myself. I waited too long to see it before I threw it. I should have just, you know, I felt him running by the guy. But yeah, you know, Taysom, he's our Swiss Army knife. He can do a little bit of everything. I'm bummed that they took a touchdown away from him, because that was a great throw to Alvin and really a great design play. And what's even more impressive is he had run that little post the play before that. So, you know, sprints 60 yards down the field, sprints back, and then throws a 50-yard touchdown to Alvin that gets called back. And that was part of our 117-yard drive. But, yeah, he's a stud. He's a stud.
Drew, at the end of that drive, did you and his father celebrating with Mike, or did you just go back to the sideline? I noticed a lot of guys just didn't even bother celebrating.
Oh, everybody was gassed. I mean, I wasn't gassed. I wasn't blocking or hitting or having to catch any balls, but no, that was a fulfilling drive. I mean, that was, man, when you can, number one, those were the points that gave us the lead and then allowed us to maintain the lead, you know, thereafter. But 23 plays, you know, 117 yards, 11 and a half minutes off the clock. You know, that just was the tipping point. It turned the tide in that whole game, and I think, you know, from that point on, we knew everything after that was just building a lead.
Drew, you kind of touched upon it, but you played on some really good teams since the Super Bowl, and it's taken 9 years to get back to this point. Does that just speak to how difficult it is?
Yeah, it is. It is. And there's a lot of good football teams out there, a lot of great players, a lot of great coaches, and every year is a little bit different, right? We've gotten close. We've had couple other moments where I thought we'd be back here, but yeah, it just goes to show how difficult it is, and so we certainly appreciate that opportunity.
Going back to that long drive, I think on that third down play, Michael Thomas, you had so many yards you could have ran the ball. Did you ever think about it for 1 second?
Running?
Yes.
Well, if you just look at the odds, right? If you were in Vegas and you were saying, what are the chances if I took off and ran that I get that first down? I would say 0.5% chance of getting that. Whereas if I throw it to Mike Thomas, the odds probably go up to 60, 70%. So I'm no dummy, but it sounds like the throw it to Mike Thomas odds are a little bit better.
Drew, a week from today against the Rams, 7 days from now, what does a game like that, I know it's early, come down to when it really comes down to it?
Say that one more time.
A week from today when we face the Rams,
Yeah.
what will that game this early in your mind think it will come down to?
Listen, it always comes down to execution. It always comes down to, block and tackling, making good decisions, taking advantage of opportunities when you get them. Listen, they're a really good football team. We knew that when they came in here mid-season, and like I said, I had a feeling that we'd be seeing these guys again. Obviously, we aspired to be here. They aspired to be here, and so here we are. Yeah, there's no question. There's no question. Yeah, while we are excited to be moving on and have the opportunity to host the NFC Championship game here, not a ton of satisfaction for me, and I think for a lot of guys, as to the way that we started this game and the way we played at times. It's going to need to be a lot better, and we expect that of ourselves. We've expected that the entire season. And it all comes down to the work week and the preparation that goes into it. But I love our team. I love the way we battle, and we'll be ready.
Ron Olmstead, he held up well today?
Yeah. I think he held up great. Well, I think everything was a little bit better in the second half. I think once we got our feet underneath us and we just started playing better football, better execution. When you can sustain drives, you typically begin to wear down a defense a little bit, and maybe they don't have quite as much juice rushing the passer as they did, if in the first couple plays of the drive. All right, guys. Thanks.
And again, Jordan, the New Orleans Saints in the Superdome on Sunday. It's the Saints and the Rams, 2:05. 5:40 is the Chiefs hosting the Patriots. The two winners will meet in 2 weeks after that on February 3 in Atlanta.
Key is get a good start. You can't come out and start like you did against Philly. I attribute that to resting a lot of players in that last regular season game, and then the bye, the divisional bye, and then so now they should be back into the flow and the rhythm of things. So I expect, but look, the Rams know what the Superdome's all about. They trailed 35-14 in the regular season, and Goff brought them back, tied it up at 35, but the Saints figured out a way to close out the game to win at 45-35. So expect a heck of a football game, and Saints are going to have to use the old cliche, 60-minute game.
Jordy, I talked to several people that were in the Superdome the other day, as loud and wild and crazy as ever, especially near the end of the game. The ball goes through Jeffrey's hand. What a class act the way he handled that after that. Marcus Lattimore with his second pick of the game.
Yeah.
When he picked that ball, which meant Saints win, people told me that the dome was shaking.
Wow, I believe it.
Let's hear from Marshon Lattimore, who had 2 picks in the game, including the one that sealed the win against Philadelphia. Saints defensive back, Marshon Lattimore.
It felt great. We won the game on our back, so when we didn't get the first down on that on our last drive, we were good. We stayed poised. We wanted it on us. So, you know, we got it done.
Can you talk a little bit? The Eagles scored 14 points in the first quarter, two things you should have not.
Right.
How important was that, and what does that say about your team?
Yeah, we just had to settle down. You know, it took us a minute to settle in and just play and execute everything we were doing. But once that second half came, I think they had like 50 passing yards in the second half. So, you know, we really locked in and we just turned up, man. We played with some swag today, you know, in that second half. And I love, you know, when we be like that. That means we're gonna win if our defense is playing like that.
I'm sorry if you already asked, but what did you see on the first interception? How many and what was the strategy?
So we was in cover 2, and the tight end did a wheel, so, you know, I had to carry that. And, you know, I just went up and made a play. That's really it.
Down 14-0. Talking a lot about how you guys made adjustments defensively, specifically have a little bit more press, getting a little bit more Philly receivers.
We really didn't make too many adjustments. We just started playing better, and we was executing everything they were calling. So we didn't really make too many adjustments. We just knew we had to go in and play with some swag, you know, and be physical with the receivers. That's it.
Coming from down on that 14-point deficit can help you, your team in general, come in future weeks?
Yeah, never count us out. We got Drew Brees as our quarterback. As long as the defense, you know, hold us down, hold the team down, and we got Drew on the other side, you know, we can win a lot of games like that. So that's what we locked in the second half, and, you know, they didn't get anything. And Drew did what he did, and that's why we came out with the win. So it goes both sides. You know, it's a team game.
So you guys were always trying to be physical with them. It's just, you got more into the flow.
Yeah, we got more in the flow, man. We just calmed down, settled in. And that was the biggest thing. You know, with the game plan, we just got to calm down and, you know, execute everything that they gave us.
It seems like they'll feed off the crowd.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They were there. Oh, most definitely. It was probably the loudest I'd heard the Dome. So, you know, when we played Carolina last year, they were pretty loud, but this time, you know, they were loud. And we love that. We love the crowd being in the game with us. And that just gives us, you know, that extra push to, you know, get the job done.
I'm surprised where you that Austin Jeffrey felt that ball, final drive.
I mean, things happen. Just like, you know, last year in crunch time when Marcus Williams missed a tackle, that's one-in-a-lifetime thing. You know, Alshon Jeffrey is a good receiver with great hands, and, you know, things happen. And, you know, we capitalized off of that. So, I mean, we were feeling good about it. We great about that.
What was the difference between Eagles earlier in the year?
I mean, they just played with passion today, and we knew they were going to do that because they thought we ran the score up last time we played them. It was 48-7. So we knew they was going to come out. They were going to come out fast and try to give us their best shot early. And once we settled in, we started shutting it down, and we started playing our game, you know, on the offense and defense.
What is Sean Payton's aggressiveness to go 4 for 1 at the same time to do for the defense?
Oh, man, we wanted them to go for it, I promise you. Like, we on the sideline, like, you know, go for it. Because, you know, we was going to hold it down. And we had faith in ourselves, and even if we didn't make it, we were going to try to hold them. It was in their territory, in our territory, so they had 3 already. But, you know, we was going to stop them, try to stop them as much as we can to force that.
Anything else from our side? Thank you. We'll have Drew in just a second.
Probably a sign that the interview is over.
When the guy leaves.
Exit stage right. Yes, yes.
All right, Jordan, as we put a wrap on it tonight from Scoreboards, appreciate all the folks that came out. It was a big crowd tonight with overtime with Southern Athletic Director Roman Banks and Tigers Roar. That's going to be every Wednesday, so get here.
It's a busy night.
Get here, get a table, boiled snow crabs, boiled shrimp, the bread pudding. Get over here, follow them on social media. Find the events page on the Facebook page, and you'll find out everything that's going on, including the watch party for the Saints game. DJ starts at 11 in the morning. The game kicks off at 2. Bagging it up, Jordy.
LSU basketball, huge win
win.
against Ole Miss now. How do you stand prosperity? I don't think that's going to be an issue. 5 o'clock Saturday, South Carolina comes to town. Man, let's pack the place. Friday night, I know they'll pack the place because it's the gymnastics meet.
Wow.
That's number 5 LSU versus number 3 Florida. And I talked to the gymnastics coaches and I said, you know what? The best compliment I can give you is when you lose, I'm shocked. And they lost at Auburn. So I was shocked by that, but now they get some redemption. They get to take on Florida this Friday. So you got that. You got LSU basketball on Saturday. You can watch it right here at Scoreboards if you're not at the arena. And then you've got the Saints on Sunday. It's a busy, busy weekend.
Yeah, big win for Will Wade, as you said. And they're at home against South Carolina at 5 o'clock in the Pete Maravich Assembly Center Saturday. And I know rankings aren't the most important thing right now, but if they beat South Carolina, they're going to be ranked in the polls
No
Sunday,
question. No
Monday
question.
morning when they come out.
No question.
And that's good to let the rest of the nation know that maybe here comes LSU. SEC basketball is as good as it's been in a long time, top to bottom.
Tennessee's the best team in the league. I don't think there's any question about that. But LSU's at that second tier right now, and every game's important because now you're talking about seeding. And that's great news. No NIT this year. It's NCAA bound, and so they got to take care of business. Like we said when they played Alabama, hold serve on your home court. They did that against Bama. Now 2 more games at home. You got a chance to go 5-0 to start league play.
And Jordy, you turned me on to this guy, Shelby Mast.
Yeah.
RacketWag.com. I started following him on Twitter after hearing him on your radio show. And he's actually messaged me once or twice. I think he knows I work with the station. And this guy is on top of it. I mean,
Every
if you
day.
want to stay up with
Every
it,
day.
RacketWag.com, Shelby Mast. I believe he lives in Texas.
Yes, he does.
And this guy is, lots of guys follow college basketball. He's one of the best.
He updates it every day. And as of today, he's got LSU on the 7 line, tied on the same line with Ole Miss. So lots of room for improvement, but that's a fun basketball team to watch. And I hope the Maravich Center is packed on Saturday.
Still a ways to go with basketball,
Oh, yeah.
but they are pointing in the right direction.
No
Do you
question.
agree?
Trending where it counts.
Tremont Waters.
Really good.
Really
good.
According to Jordy, they will go as he goes.
Absolutely.
And hey.
Absolutely.
Again, it's so, I know you're happy to be saying so many good things about LSU basketball.
Yeah.
But there were a couple years when it just wasn't there.
That's right. And but he's got him in the right direction. He's recruited well, but they're disciplined on the court, and he makes them play hard, and that's the key. Their chemistry is good, so lots of hoops left to go, but so far so good.
Next week, Mike Scarborough, TigerBait.com will update us on recruiting. Come on out to Scoreboards, open Tuesday through Sunday at 11 a.m. Daily drink specials, happy hour, food specials. Connect on social media. You'll be able to keep up with it all. Appreciate the crowd tonight. Overtime with Southern AD, Roman Banks, Jordy Hultberg, Tommy Krysan. Spreading the roar. Baton Rouge, Lafayette, New Orleans. We'll talk to you again real soon.
taste the feeling.